absolutely fucking phenomenal. We are
It's
recording
crisp.
crisp, clear, beautiful.
Cover girl.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I forgot the catchphrase though. I couldn't get past the maybe it's Maybelline. That's what I was thinking. Welcome everyone to the ultimate One Piece discussion video. I'm here with Kev D OG, my friend.
Yeah.
We're here to discuss the Straw Hats and how they have changed and how their relationships with each other have changed throughout the years. Welcome, Kev.
Yeah. What's up, Fired Up?
Mad chillin'. I got to turn off my AC, I just realized, but we chillin'.
Nice.
Can't have any white noise in the background. What is this?
For sure. Okay, yeah. So I guess one thing I wanted to talk about to start is I think the most changed relationship I would say in the entirety of, One Piece, which is the Zoro Sanji relationship.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's the most, I would say, obvious example of a dynamic, which is like their strong bitterness and rivalry. And I kind of love every second of it. Not the fandom, but their rivalry.
It's
and what I think is so...
They started out as friends, which is the
Exactly.
they started out as friends, and then Little Garden came around, and their whole rivalry that's lasted 20 years now worth of manga publication all started from a simple competition, a hunting competition.
Just like Dory and Bragi.
Yeah.
Changed it all.
But the thing with like Dory and Bragi, at the end of the day, they're still friends. They're just doing it for honor, With Sanji and Zoro at this point, it's just like, it's more of a I'm better than you because blank, And it's really funny, and I really like it.
Same. I think the little like petty moments is really like endearing.
Yeah, like in episode 982, when they're looking for booze to do the toast for Jinbei, Sanji's like, man, your nose is only good for booze, and isn't it, or something like that. And then they just kind of look at each other, and he's like, and then Zoro throws an insult, and Sanji throws an insult.
I think what makes it so good though is because that no matter what though, like they clearly like trust each other and like will work with each other. That's what I think is so good about it. It's not just toxic. It's almost like toxic. Fooling around.
They're basically like siblings, like they're kind of like they're the same age, so they're kind of like quote unquote like twin brothers. I grew up, and growing up I had 2 friends who were twins, and they would argue and bicker all the time, but at the end of the day, no matter what, they had each other's back, and I always admired that because growing up I was the oldest. I've never had really a sibling to relate to like that. So it's cool to see. And it is realistic. That really is how it is between brothers.
Like no matter how much they bicker, they'll care.
Yeah, they still love each other. And like we saw it in Thriller Bark, where Sanji was so willing, without even any hesitation, willing to throw his life away for Zoro and the crew. And then he proclaims that if you don't kill me now, I'm going to become the most dangerous member of this crew. Right? And I think we're going to see that happen in Wano. And like I brought this up with my discussion with Edens, or rather Edens brought it up, and we discussed it for a bit. But I really do think Sanji is going to get that, notoriety defining moment in Wano. Something like Zoro had with
well, I mean, I would say his specific moment was definitely in Ennie's lobby. He just did some absolute shenanigans, But I'd say another really powerful moment for Zoro was definitely in Alabasta, where he just took down Mr. One like it was basically nothing, which is kind of wild.
I mean, he did take a lot of hits. I actually rewatched that fight recently. And Zoro did struggle for quite a bit, but once he had that revelation, of the Breath of All Things, it was like a cakewalk for him. He only needed to do one move.
And
But
every time Zoro is like seen, people always assume, why isn't this guy the captain?
yeah,
It's
and
kind of
that's also what I was going to bring up is compared to Sanji, I think it's just blatantly obvious. Oda intends to portray Zoro above Sanji. Zoro
What do you mean?
clearly outclasses Sanji in terms of strength, you know, combat ability, but it's for a reason. It's because Zoro is supposed to be the combatant, whereas Sanji, he's more of a tactician, more of a strategist, and at the end of the day, he's a fucking cook. You know, he's not gonna get that same notoriety that Zoro does until because Zoro, has part of that notoriety, one because of his overbearing, aura, which I think is Conqueror's. It's been confirmed that he has it, but I think he just, without even realizing it, has been using it his whole life just by intimidating his foes.
Like every time it's been like seen as like bloodlust.
Yeah.
Now it's actually, possibly it was that all along.
And they just like because like we seen in the episode, I can't remember the specific number, but it was one of the recent one that spoiled Zoro's Conqueror reveal. Earlier in the episode, he uses it, but to a lesser extent, to where he just kind of gets the beast pirate to back off of him. He's like, hey, like, why are you so angry? Like, just have a drink, Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
But
And then out of nowhere, he's just like, he realizes that they were the ones who were like wasting food and all. And then out of nowhere, he just goes crazy. And I don't know, that moment
personally. But as I was saying, with Zoro, his portrayal has been nothing but dominance, right? But with Sanji, he doesn't have that same portrayal, and he also isn't the right hand of Luffy. He doesn't have that same notoriety as being the basically vice captain of the future Pirate King crew, So he needs to have a moment to define his notoriety. Like Zoro has always had it because he had a name before he joined the Straw Hats. He was Pirate Hunter Zoro. He was known as a demon. He had all of these epithets already, right? Whereas Sanji was just a sous chef for the Baratier. People may have known him because he was a good cook, but they didn't know him for his strengths, like his actual strength. So we need to have a moment, and I think it's going to be in Wano, where Sanji's going to prove himself as a very dangerous and very capable member of the Straw Hats. And we've seen Robin say, Sanji is a man who is worthy of being one of the two wings of the Pirate King. So I think, because everyone doubts him, Black Maria is even like, Sanji's a joke and you're nothing but a burden, talking to Robin. He just called you because, you're such a burden. They don't even care if you die. And that's obviously not the case. And we even see that, like, Robin's like, you wouldn't understand. But it's just, Sanji is going to get a moment where people are going to start believing in him and actually start respecting the name of Blackleg Sanji. And he told Kuma to his face, someday the world is going to know Blackfoot Sanji. So
I kind of want to hop off of that topic, meaning like use it. I think Oda, this is just talking about a narrative thing specifically. I think that's the main reason Oda gave Sanji this whole other backstory entirely, because people didn't really take him seriously. And now that he has this association with all this, in-depth world knowledge from like his dad and all that stuff, he possibly has these links to like things that the government never expected he would know or like
Mm-hmm.
should know
Yeah.
expectedly. And
And
now
he,
that he has this technology, they might be like, "Oh, wait, he knows a lot more than we ever thought he did." Kind of like how they pictured Buggy, but I know that's like really
yeah.
downplaying Sanji.
Um, I think, I think it would work in a similar way to Buggy, where Sanji doesn't actually know more than the world government thinks. He just has proven himself to be more of a threat than they thought.
Mm.
So they're gonna have to spin it some way. You know, he's probably gonna like the idea that Eden's brought up is that he could, at the end of the raid, we've seen more things now that kind of discredits this. But he was saying like, maybe after the raid, CP0 is gonna, come in and try to capture whatever pirates they can. But we now see that their goal is to get, just to confirm that who's who is dead. But what he said was maybe Sanji is going to directly interfere with the works of the world government by stopping CP0 doing whatever they're doing, right? And that's how he's going to prove himself.
Mm.
And it was a direct tie back to what he told Kuma. Don't mind the voice crack. Told Kuma back in Thriller Bark, where he said, "I will be the most dangerous member of this crew someday." And I think that's going to unfold in Wano, because we've seen a lot of previous mentions, basically callbacks to previous arcs in Wano. For one, like, and this is a big thing that I don't think people even realized, is that the fact that Brooke and Robin were fighting Black Maria, who is a spider Zoan, right? If you remember, back when Robin and Frankie met Brooke, he saved them from the big old spider on Thriller Bark. And now Robin and Brooke are fighting together to defeat a spider.
Mm.
So that's a callback that may not be intentional, but I picked up on. And we also have, obviously Ryuma and all the callbacks to Wano, Ryuma, of course, being from Wano, Zoro being tied to the samurai. I think it's been mentioned a couple times before they went to Wano that Zoro, is a very good representation of the samurai of Wano. Hey everyone, I just want to apologize for my extended hiatus. I had some tech difficulties and I started a new job. So I was just trying to, transition into the swing of things, and I'm sorry. It was not my intention to be gone that long, but I'm back again. And this is actually going to be a two-parter. The next part, we're going to be talking about Luffy and Usopp. It's actually a pretty good discussion. So if you want to see that, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll be getting back into the swing of uploading probably up to 3 times a week. So yeah, hope you guys are happy and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.